Why, hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Taylor Swift Friday. How are all of you doing? You all excited for the weekend? The week is over. The week is over. It's done. It's been a bit of a pants week, let's be honest, you know. Maybe you've had a really good week, but obviously the worldwide news has not exactly been the best. It's been a bit sucky, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Over on my Twitter, man, like things that I don't follow have been like spammed at me all week. And I'm like, this isn't me. Why are you showing me this? You just showing me this to piss me off. It's been like that all freaking week. I imagine it's been like the same for a lot of you. A bunch of you are probably like, nah, not on Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky as well, but my interaction on Blue Sky is like minimal. Like no one follows me on there. And yeah, Instagram's not too bad though. Instagram's sort of bad. But anyway, let's forget about the social medias. You want to follow me on any of them, links in the description. But let's forget about those. Let's forget about the week. It doesn't matter. It's done. It's time for the weekend, and the weekend is always good, and the weekend is good because it starts with the one and only Taylor Swift. Now, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the support on the last Friday reaction, because it actually did really well. It did really well, people loved it, and I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be one of those reactions that would do well, because we're just sitting here watching Taylor talk. But all of you were like, that's what we live for, and I loved it so much. We've got 2 more parts, including today's. This one will be the rest of the talking section of the Grammy Museum, and then next week's will be all of the live songs back to back. So, I'm gonna stop talking. The intro's been long enough already. Please press that like button. Please press that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite Taylor Swift live performance is, or favorite Taylor Swift song, and if I've reacted to it yet. And let's jump into my first time ever reaction to Taylor Swift's now listening session at the Grammy Museum performance, kind of part 2.
The next song that I'm going to play for you is a different collaborator, because I want you to hear something from each person almost on 1989.
Okay.
The next person is Ryan Tedder. He's made some of the coolest things, just great songs, and I wanted to do well in the writing session, so I emailed him a lot of songs. And
I know I'm pausing really early, but I do want to say, isn't it just incredible how she's talking to a room full of people, and it feels like she's just talking to, like, do you remember when we checked out the Long Pond studio sessions, and she was chatting with Jack, and it literally feels exactly the same. It feels like she has the exact same energy and decorum that she would if she was just sitting in the garden talking to Jack, as she is now talking to a room full of people.
One of them was this song called I Know Places, and I had this idea of like, you know, when you're in love, it's this very kind of along the lines of Out of the Woods. It's very precious, it's fragile. As soon as the world gets a hold of it, whether it's your friends or people around town hear about it, it's kind of like the first thing people want to do when they hear that people are in love is just kind of try to ruin it if they're not the greatest human beings. I kind of was in a place where I was like, no one's going to sign up for this. There are just too many cameras pointed at me. There are too many ridiculous elaborations on my life. It's not ever gonna work. But I decided to write a love song, just kind of like, what would I say if I met someone really awesome and they were like, hey, I'm worried about like all this attention you get. So I wrote this song called I Know Places, about like, hey, I know places we could hide. We could outrun them. And so I sent the
I don't know if I always assumed this was based on someone. But the way Taylor words it is almost like it's based on a fantasy. The idea of someone whisking her off her feet and shielding her from the paparazzi world, you know, the media world. That's what it sounds like she's saying. This, like, fantasy that she had in her head, which makes it both sad and beautiful.
We could hide. We could outrun them. And so I sent the idea to Ryan, and this is me trying to explain to him how I wanted it to sound.
I love the voice notes. I love them.
Embarrassing.
I love them.
Are embarrassing.
No, they're the best.
Okay, so this is kind of this rough idea thing.
I love the voice notes so much. it's interesting listening to this song and like this voice note, and you can kind of hear the beginning workings of like her more recent albums as well. You know what I mean? You can hear her changing, you know, from like the Speak Now and the 1989 and the Red. You can hear that shift into the more newer sounds, you know, the Reputation, the Torture Post Department, you know, like Midnights. You can kind of hear this song feels a little bit like that, you know.
I know I think about that time. Ever know that I think or two about it, cause they got the cages, they got the boxes and guns. They are the hunters, we are the foxes, and we run away. I know some places we won't be found, and they'll be chasing their tails, trying to track us down. Cause I know places we can hide. I know places. I know.
Fuck me, man. How does she do it? How the fuck does she do it? Oh my gosh! How? Her mind is insane, man. She's like, this is fucking insane. She's literally like this. Like, just gets her phone and is like, yeah, so, this is just something I've just been messing around with this morning, you know. I had like a cup of coffee and a bagel, and I was like, I got some time. I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna quickly write a song. So this is just what I wrote in the last 5 minutes. And it's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you actually mean?
No places.
How the hell?
Or whatever, I don't know. But
or whatever, I don't know.
Dark, really dark, like, lyric, like, bridge thing, and it's about, like...
Or whatever, I don't know. Or whatever, I don't know. How many times has she said that and, like, scrapped the song, do you reckon? How many times has she done an incredible voice note like that would blow all of our minds, and she's gone, forget about it? How many times do you reckon she's done that?
Everybody's, like, trying to get in and, like, ruin a love or whatever, and it's like, you just... whatever, you know. And then the chorus would just go to that major and just, like, be like, chorus.
I love this!
It would be like, it wouldn't be a piano thing, it would be like, like, very, like, beat. Now I'm just making weird sounds. Hope you like it.
Now I'm just making weird sounds.
That was one we ended up writing. And so, I got to the studio and he was already kind of working on the track a little bit, which was exciting. What we ended up with was I kind of was just like, we need to just kind of make it sound a little bit like a spy movie in a weird way in the verses. Like, I wanted the choruses to just soar. I wanted the choruses to be a chorus. But in the verses, I wanted to play around with different rhythms, and we ended up in a really good place with that. I sang a lot of the background vocals, but so did Ryan, because Ryan has a really good voice. He did them on his tour bus because he was on tour, so he was in this double-decker tour bus in Switzerland. He used a Sony mic and an Apogee Apollo on his laptop, and the synth was a Juno 106. We also did a song called Welcome to New York on 1989 together, and it was the same synth he used for that.
A song called Welcome to New York, huh? No, don't think I'm familiar. No, I never heard of it. No.
It ended up being something I'm so proud of, and I'm so happy that it sounds like the urgency that it sings about. And I will go ahead and play it for you now.
Oh, God. This is a song ahead of its time. It really is. It's so insane. It's so insane when you hear these songs that are just so fucking good. And she's like, yeah, you know, I wrote this when I was just, you know, on a walk for 5 minutes, you know. Oh yeah, I was skydiving, and I was like, I got some time before I have to pull my parachute. I'll fucking quit. I'll write a song. I'll write a song. Alright, I wrote two songs. It's just,
As we run,
oh, that squeak note is. This song, it feels ahead of its time for a Taylor song, especially the verses. Ironic that Taylor is the queen of bridges, and this song feels like a bridge between eras. Fuck me, man! So good! So good! Ah!
So the next one I'm going to talk to you about, I actually did with Imogen Heap. Someone asked me in an interview, who would you like to work with? And I said Imogen Heap. I get an email to my management sent, like, Imogen just saw that Taylor said in an interview that she'd like to work together. She said, why don't you come out to my studio? It's actually where I live too. So I go all the way.
Why doesn't this happen to me with like other reaction channels? God damn it! I'll be like, I really want to work with this creator. Nothing. Nothing. No. Fuck. If for any reason, I've always said this before. I said this last time. I literally put out an open invitation. I was like, if anybody wants to like get me on a podcast, chill, whatever, like any other creators in this space want to hang, like just want to do something with me, I don't mind. Hit me up. And that's when Hits Differently podcast hit me up straight away. And they're like, just shooting our shot. You said you want to work with creators. You want to work with us? And I was like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. And shout out my girls at Hits Differently. They are absolutely amazing. Love them. Every video they do. I'm always watching their videos. They're just awesome. Check out Hits Differently podcast. They're amazing. They're amazing. Some of my favorite Swifties on this planet.
Out to her house. Before that, I had gotten an idea that I thought would be perfect for us to write. And it was this idea when you get your heart broken or you lose someone from your life.
I'll never say no.
Or when you're trying to recover from
If I
a
can help
breakup,
it.
it's almost like the same kind of struggle that someone goes through trying to beat addiction. It's not one habit you're breaking. It's every single minute of the day you're breaking a habit, and it's exhausting. I had this metaphor in my head about like being in this house and there's been a drought, but you feel like there's a storm coming, and so instead of trying to block out the storm, you like punch a hole in the roof and just let all the rain come in, and when you wake up in the morning, it's washed away everything that used to hurt you, and then you're clean. I'll play you this thing that I sent her, and then I'll tell you exactly how we created the track.
and I hold my head, and I hold my head, and I lost the floor, and the sky turned black like a perfect storm. Down when I was drowning, and I could finally breathe.
So that was me figuring out what the
I love that when Taylor writes songs, she sometimes, not sometimes, she does it a lot, where she will fill in lyrics that she doesn't know yet with just sounds like she feels fits the songs. So she'll be talking, and then all of a sudden she'll go like, and just, and then you sort of feel the words like this and continue, you know, like that. And it works. It works. Like she could fucking release the song just like that.
chorus needed to be. So the coolest thing about
And we'd all just pretend we know the words. We'd be there in the crowd going like, yeah.
Imogen for me was that there was no one else in the studio. There was no assistant. There was no engineer. It was her doing everything. So I loved that. It was like an incredible experience for me to watch her do everything that she does on the technical side of things. There's this hook in the song. The main musical hook is this tuned percussion called an imbira, and she has it in her studio, and that was what she did to create the main musical hook. And then she used these things called boom whackers, which are tuned percussion, which I'm going to show you videos of both because
Boom whack.
I had to video it. This is the imbira.
Look at Taylor's raised eye. Oh, that was Taylor. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a good thing that Taylor said that was her. Otherwise, I would have been like, who's that crazy woman standing over Imogen Heap? Who is she? How did she get in there? Why is she recording her? That like eyebrow raise, you know, she's just like going like, wow. Like she wants to say something, but she's being quiet. Look, she's like, look at this. Wow.
That's me. So this is another like.
Let me see these boom whackers.
Percussion sound.
Show me the boom whackers. What's a boom whacker? Sounds like an Australian thing. Is that a boom whacker? You can't tell me that's not Australian.
So you end up.
It's funny. It looks kind of silly, but it feels really serious. You know what I mean? Like in that room, you would like go in and go, haha, boom whacker, and you'd feel like they just stare at you, like, okay.
Hearing like both of those, they're a main sound. They're not tucked in. You'll hear them. My vocal was 2 takes. She was just like, we're fine. Well, she was actually like, we're fine. It's fine. She's British. I was just like, please sing on it. Please sing on it. Please sing on it. So she did all these Imogen Heap background vocals, which were just. I thought that she did some kind of effect to her voice to make it sound like that, and she doesn't. It just sounds like that when she sings out of her mouth, which was wild. Oh my God. I was trying so hard to remain some kind of level of
professional,
like unaffected in the way that like British people feel comfortable around.
I will say that Taylor's quite right there. You will find that like put it this way. How do I explain this? Just bear with me here. So in Britain or England, if you come here and you compliment like a British person or anything like that, you might get a weird reaction. And you might get like thanks, something like that, right? And you may immediately feel a little bit awkward or feel like they didn't like the compliment or anything like that. That is not the case at all. It's just kind of our demeanor. Like maybe I'm projecting here. Maybe it's just me. But like Taylor saying that makes me think that it isn't just me. But it's like a compliment means a lot. And it really like, or like any kind of like niceties or friendliness, you know, it doesn't even need to be a compliment, just any kind of friendliness or anything like that. It's going to mean a lot, but we don't really know because in England, everyone's kind of brutal here, you know, everyone kind of shit talks each other. You know, the only country that can go shit talk with England is Australia, you know, and that's because they're British. They're just descendants of us. So that like there's a lot of shit talk and that sort of stuff, and that's kind of how like England just talks in sarcasm. That's literally like our language. So what I'm trying to say is what Taylor said is very accurate. When you talk to an English person, if you're very like complimentary or overly friendly or anything like that, they kind of will shut down usually and be a bit awkward. But don't think for a second that means they don't like it. We just don't know how to respond to it. That's the thing. We do like it, but we don't know the correct way to respond to it because it's not something that is usual here. Maybe I'm projecting, but hopefully that makes a little bit of sense.
Affected in the way that like British people feel comfortable around. So I was like, take your hands off your face. Take them off your face. Take them off your face. Put them away. Holster that. And the full thing was 9 hours, and then she sent me the mix the next day, and it was done. I guess I'll just go ahead and play it for you now.
Jesus Christ, she's amazing. Took her nine hours worth, stripped down to the song.
So the last song that I'm going to talk to you about is Shake It Off. 1989 was essentially...
Shake It Off. Nah, Shake It Off? Must be a new one. Why have I not heard of Shake It Off before? Must be, I'm guessing it's one of her smaller songs, right?
I'm going to talk to you about is Shake It Off. 1989 was essentially...
Never heard of it.
A celebration. Like, I changed every part of my life. I focused every part of my life on different things than I'd focused it on before. I new adventures and everything. And I kind of stopped caring. Like, I'm very well aware of like what everyone says about me, every single thing. And the difference between
every single thing? No, she's not out there. Okay, it's fine. We only say nice things. So
well aware of like what everyone says about me, every single thing. And the
but the way she says that is scary.
difference between
She's looking at all of us right now.
ago,
Everyone look outside your window.
I honestly don't care anymore. It's
That's
just
my
like,
that's my Taylor. That's my Taylor.
and life is much better that way. And I kind of wanted to write something that sounded like the way I feel about all that. But the problem was I had all these lyrics and I didn't have, writing session was coming up and I'm just like, I'm not getting a melody. I'm dead. I don't know what I'm going to do. The thought terrified me. So I kind of sulked into the studio and I was like, guys, I have like an idea that's like lyric, but I know the vibe I want. I want it to start off, and the second the song starts, I want it to be the song where, like, if it's played at a wedding and there's this one girl who hasn't danced all night at the reception, all her friends come over to her and they're like, you have to dance, come on, you have to dance on this one. That's what I wanted.
Oh my god, that is so accurate. It's crazy. That is actually the perfect freaking description of Shake It Off. It is the song that no matter what, you're gonna dance to. That the person who doesn't dance, who's sitting there in the corner, who hasn't danced all night, it comes on, is dancing to. That is such a great description. That is crazy. That is perfect.
So I was like, Shellback, can you just go to the drum kit and try to play that? There's one thing that I have always said to Max is like,
I love that she's just like, so I've got this idea for a song. It's a song, it makes everybody dance. Now, can you play that? It's just like, sure.
you just go to the drum kit and try to play that? There's one thing that I have always said to Max is like, I don't like horns. Just always had a thing about it. I was always like weirdly scared of it or intimidated by horns. I don't know what it was.
They are very scary.
It's a weird,
you know?
nerdy studio fear of mine.
No, it's true. When I see them on like devil-ish creatures or a bull, you know, horns are terrifying. You know, I mean, it is the symbol of the devil. You know, that like is terrifying. But wait, she's talking about the instrument. That's what I was talking about too. The horn instrument is the symbol of the devil.
It's like, no horns. And I don't even know, I don't have a reason for it. I love songs that have horns on them. I was just like, I don't think I can pull off horns. It's strange.
I think you look great.
He goes over the Mellotron and he starts playing this horn sound.
So
I'm like, what are you doing?
I immediately punched him.
Don't do that. And he's like, no, I think this is cool. I'm like, no, it's not cool. And where are your chorus chords? Because you're just playing 3 chords over and over again, and I can't make a chorus out of them. Why don't you go to like a chorus chord that starts off a chorus? Where's the 1? Like, why don't you go? And then all of a sudden there was this moment where I thought of the whole chorus. And it was over the chords that I had just told him are not chorus chords, which is a ridiculous thing to say. The chorus of Shake It Off just came out in like kind of one fell swoop, and so this is the moment that I admitted to him that this was a chorus. And that the horns would work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Players gonna play. Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it off. Ooh.
Taylor's biggest and most known song started with a rambling mumble idea that had no basis, no clue, nothing, where she went in and asked for help, then proceeded to say that the help she was getting was the wrong kind of help, then proceeded to apologize and go, actually, this is amazing, and boom, the biggest song Taylor's done was born.
Ooh, listen to this. Cause the cause the player's gonna play. Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake it off. High five.
That's good.
High five. And it sounds like a chorus. So that happened. So the Mellotron, he then replaced it in Sweden. He went to Sweden. He got a real horn section.
So funny.
You might have heard in the voice memo there was like a guitar sound, but it didn't really sound like a guitar because it's a cigar box that has strings on it. That Max was like intent on playing on this song, even though you barely even hear it in the song. He was like, I want to play, get the cigar box. I need the.
Taylor's just like, all right, fine. When we put the song together, just make sure that's really quiet in the background. You can play it, Max. You can play a cigar box really, really quiet, like barely a whisper in the song. It would be great. It would be
cigar
great.
box to be on the song. It was just kind of like we were in a mood that day. Then there was a lot of stomping in this that we
were
got
in a
very
mood.
Interesting way. This is me and Shellback creating the stomping sound that you hear throughout this song.
My boyfriend.
Okay, ready? Yeah.
Told his new girlfriend. Don't know why it made me think of Out of the Woods.
I'm like, right. Real professionals. There are a lot of vocal parts in this that we thought of that we loved, which is like, there's a lot of like, hoo, hoo, and like, then there's, in the end, there's like, ba, ba, ba.
That hoo, literally, anyone else just goes straight to me. Me, hee, hee. Me, hee, hee, hee. Like, straight away.
Hoo, hoo. And like, then there's, in the end, there's like, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. And we almost wanted that to sound kind of bad.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm
We didn't
actually
want
trying
it
to like
sound
work out where these parts are in the
like
song.
It was a group of great singers doing it, so we sang it like this. And this is Max and me and Shellback singing the background vocals for the end of the song.
Look at Taylor dancing!
That's what Max Martin looks like.
Look at Taylor
Yeah.
dancing!
So that's the
That's
end of the
the
song.
best.
We're gonna play Shake It Off, and
Oh my
then I'm gonna
gosh.
just come and say hi to you guys if that's cool.
But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music.
Oh, this is Shake It Off. Oh, this, of course. Yes, I've of course heard.
In my mind saying it's gonna be alright.
Look at her face. This is amazing.
Players gonna play, baby.
It's that song. Everyone out your chairs. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off.
Now, I know it's that song that every Swifty's heard like a million times, and I guarantee it's not one that we will always go and play. However, when it is played, we all move. And I will say this right now. It was a surprising favorite of mine when I saw Taylor live in London. The live performance of Shake It Off is the most contagious and energetic performance of the entire night. The entire fucking crowd of 100,000 people were moving, dancing, and losing their minds. It is like, I'm literally not exaggerating, have goosebumps all over me right now just thinking about it. It is one of my, it was arguably my favorite live song of the night, which I know sounds crazy, but there is something so awesome about seeing a room full of that many people lose their minds. Like, I'll never see that again. I'll never see that again in my life. Like, nearly 100,000 people dancing together. I'll never see it again. It is magical. And this is the song that did it.
Thank you so much for coming. This turnout is unbelievable. I cannot believe all of you are in this room right now. So thank you so much for wanting to come and hear about some of the songs off my record.
I want to
Stay
come.
right there for a little
I'll
while.
stay right here.
We actually have a presentation.
Invite me next time, Taylor. I'll come. Little old me, the little YouTuber guy. I'll come. Let me come. I'll be there. Please.
To be made by our P&E wing co-chairs. I'm Frank Liddell.
I won't
I'm
lose my mind too much.
and On, along with Reed Shippen here, I'm
I won't
co-chairman
cry.
of the Nashville P&E
I will cry.
Wing Committee. Taylor, that was spectacular. I want you to know we do this a few times a year or some incarnation. It's usually a handful of us that get up here and do it, and I just want to tell you I feel really bad for whoever's next.
Yeah, that was amazingly inspiring. That was such a breath of fresh air.
Thank you.
Ah, she's so happy.
I'm going back to the studio and muting 3/4 of the shit on the track.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right, I have cards because I get really nervous talking next to Frank. And so everybody here tonight has dedicated their career to helping artists achieve musical vision and,
You can tell he's nervous. You can pick up on the nerves in his voice and the way he's like carrying himself here, bless him, and the shifting as well.
the best that they can be.
Can you blame him? I would be terrified. I joke about like the idea of interviewing Taylor one day or even speaking to Taylor. I honestly think I would explode. I think it would be like, they'd be like, hey, do you remember that guy who exploded when he met Taylor? I know, he just like poof, into a ball. I didn't even know it was humanly possible. That would be me. That would be the story of how I go out.
And in this room, we've got some of the best producers and engineers in this town, and that's saying a lot because this town is full of incredible talent.
And you might not know this, but in order to be accepted into the P&E wing, you have to accumulate a certain amount of credits as either a producer or an engineer.
And you've done that. So Taylor, we would like to say congratulations and welcome and officially induct you into Nashville's Producers and Engineers Wing.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yay!
You should have told me that before. I wouldn't have been so nervous.
Well done, Taylor. On September 30th, 2015, Taylor celebrated her attendance record, breaking an exhibit at the Grammy Museum with an acoustic performance at the Clive Davis Theatre. Okay, so this is the next part that we are moving on to. It is 20 minutes long, and my amazing Swifties watching this, you will have to wait until next week, and we will watch every single song in that Grammy Museum performance, which I imagine is what a lot of you are excited about as well, because I haven't seen them. But I was surprised to see how many of you were excited as much about the speaking part, because it turns out that when a lot of reactors react to the Grammy Museum performance, they actually skip this bit. Why? I don't understand. Call them out. All right, you go back to their videos and you say, hey, you took out the speaking part, because this is the best part. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited about the songs, but, and I may sound weird saying this, I could just listen to Taylor talk for ages. She is so freaking interesting. She absolutely is. She has a mind that is like none other. And when she talks, she's so like articulate, and just so calm with everything. The way she talks and carries herself, but I'm interesting. This is going to be a random tangent, but I just saw an older lady walk down the road with a small dog. This is going to sound really weird. And she came from our street. So, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of neighborhood gossip, okay? So if you don't want to hear this neighborhood gossip, just skip past it, and then we'll go back to me just saying how amazing Taylor is. The other night when I was live streaming, I heard a dog barking outside. It was freezing cold. It was like -1 or something, and I heard a dog barking outside. That's Celsius. And it was barking outside for like 40 minutes. So I put a message in our group chat complaining. I was like, we have a neighborhood group chat, and I never put any messages in there, ever. I'm very awkward, and my neighbors are all quite like involved in your life, and I'm very much not like that. I'm quite a reserved person. It takes a lot for me to like warm to someone. Not that I'm like hostile, but like I find like it uncomfortable. So I never put a message in the group chat. I'm part of it, but I never put a message in there. I leave it all to my wife. And a dog was barking like crazy. And when it comes to animals or children, that nervousness goes away very quickly, and I become angry very quickly. And I was like just sitting here, and I was going, who the fuck is leaving a dog outside this long in the cold? And it sounded like a little dog. And I was like, who is doing this? I was like, right, after my live stream, I'm gonna go out in my pajamas and find the house that's left their dog outside. Because I could just hear it outside, but I didn't know which one of my neighbors had a small dog. So I put a message in the group chat saying like, is the dog that's been barking for the last 40 minutes okay? And then all of a sudden, it stopped. It was just stopped. And I was like, that's suspicious. But no one put any messages in the chat. And the next morning, a bunch of people were like, oh, I heard the dog too. Whose dog is it? And no one owned up to saying it was their dog. And one person said, oh, it's the person who lives behind me. which would imply that it wasn't on our street. But I just saw an older lady walk down our street from the house cluster we have over there with a tiny little dog, meaning it was her. And she does live on our street. I don't know any of their names, I'm being honest. Which means that someone in the neighborhood was lying, and it was them. So, exposed a little bit. Look after your dogs, all right? I don't need to tell you guys this. But yeah, it's it's one of those things. If I ever see like a poor dog being like mistreated or kids, it makes me put my foot in my mouth quite a lot, to be honest. But I would rather put my foot in my mouth sticking up for someone or something that can't do it themselves than not, you know? Anyway, random tangent over. Yeah, these parts are amazing. I can literally just listen to Taylor talk about anything. Like, listening to her just, like, open up her mind and just air it all out or just, like, explain it to us is wonderful. Because her brain, her mind, the way she creates music and everything is like no one I've ever heard. It is so interesting. I find it unbelievably fascinating. And just that 38 minutes of her just talking was awesome. Because it's so cool to see how all these songs begun. And to learn about how they all started. And where they all came from. And Taylor basically, like, showing us, like, the first seed that planted what would grow into these songs. And, like, where that came from. Where she got the ideas from. And the process and how she created it. What I, like, is just awesome. But what I find so mind-blowing, nearly every song Taylor's ever created was created so quickly. She'll literally, like, you'll hear her literally go, oh, I've got an idea for a song. It's about a tree. 5 minutes later. So I've written this entire song. It's a rough draft. We need filling it in. Just plays it. And it's like, how did you go from this to this so quickly? And I don't know anyone like that. I've said this since I started reacting to Taylor, and I'll keep saying it forever. Taylor is the perfect example of someone who is doing exactly what they were born to do. There is nothing else that Taylor suits more perfectly than exactly what she does. You know what I mean? She is meant to be what she is. And I feel like that is so evident with how much she loves it, how down to earth she is, how genius she is in the musical creation process. There is something so special about this woman. I will never, ever be able to fully explain it. I don't think anyone can. She is incredibly unique and just mind-blowingly talented and a rare gem that we may never even see the likes of again. There is something so remarkably special about her. I just find it fascinating listening to her talk about the music creation process. Videos like this are awesome. And they really are. And I love them. Like I said, I love the live performances just as much. But there is something really special about listening to the creation process behind these songs that we fall in love with. So yeah, this was fantastic. And I enjoyed simply just listening to her talk. And I hope you guys all enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the best weekend ever. Let me know what you guys would like to see on your Tuesday's reaction. I think a lot of you really want to see me react to part 3 of the Tavis relationship timeline. So we'll probably do that. That's going to be kind of fun. And yeah, if you like these videos and for some reason you haven't pressed that like button or you aren't subscribed to the channel, which I imagine if you're watching all the way to the end, you are. But if you're not, please press that button. It'd be nice to just fill up this channel with some more Swifties, you know? I always like that. Anyway, have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.